Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, June 10th, 2025. Did you know that this day is my anniversary of quitting drinking?
Wow, that's a big day, right?
Yeah, it's his 1 day anniversary.
1 day sober.
His last beer was yesterday morning, right before our breakfast club.
There was a sitcom I saw. A guy was like, "Yeah, my 10-year, it'll be my 10th year of not drinking in 7 years."
Yeah. How long's it been, Frank?
I think it's 9. I think I'm at 9. It's either 8 or 9 years. Yeah.
After a little while, you lose count.
Yeah, you do. You know, you
really,
do.
I'm not saying it to be funny. After a little while, you lose count.
Yeah, you do. You know, it's just it's that thing, and it's done, and I'm so glad I did it, man. I really am. You know, that's not to say though. I mean, on my anniversary in Monterey, had a little glass of wine. You know what I mean? So I have done little things like that, but very sparse, extremely sparse. No, you know, and fortunately, I have not, gone, sip of wine. I'm just going to drink forever now again. I have not done that, so.
See, I'm an all or nothing kind of guy, man.
Yeah.
I'm either 100 miles an hour toward it or zero,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's to me, it's like a little bit of oxygen. No, I want
I want it all.
I want it all, or if you're going to take it away, but pick one or the other, so.
Yeah.
Proud of you, brother. Good for you, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. No, that was a really great moment in my life. It really was. Yeah. I remember the day, and it was just it was a good day, man. And it's and good all luck. It's ever done has been only been 1,000% positive in every aspect of everything. You know what I mean? It's not like one of those decisions you make. Well, it was a pretty good decision. I don't know. In fact, you do it.
The worst part of being sober, and I'm not saying this to be funny, like really, the worst part about being sober is being around people that are slurring. Oh God,
that's Carl's pet peeve. Yeah,
I hate that.
Yeah,
I just
because they're not even going to remember it the next day anyway.
No, they. I love you, man.
I love you, man.
Dude, I could, whatever. Yeah, they're not going to remember the next day. It's just like.
Well, anyways, there you go. So there we have it. Yeah, man. I think it's been 8 years, 9 years, something like that.
Congratulations,
man. Good stuff, man. Appreciate it.
Good for you.
All right. Let's kind of get things kicked off. We do have a special guest today. I want you to know we have a Jody Bruns in the house. So she's going to razzle dazzle us here in just a couple of minutes. But as we're getting started, I think the main thing that we have to do is recognize that Steve Hall has made it today. So, Steve, I want to say hi, brother. Hi, hey, man, unmute. We haven't chatted in like a long time. How are you, man? Everything going okay? You're muted. Oh, there you go.
It's going well.
Good.
Just sticking with things. I jump on the Facebook feeds, and that's easier for me sometimes. But knowing your guest today, I said I got to go live.
Good. Great. Thank you. See, Jody, you're drawing them in, man. You're drawing them in. Hey, good to talk to you, Steve. It's been a minute. So
good to see you, buddy.
Glad you're doing well, man. All right. Let's kind of pop around. What do you think, Carl? Hey, Carl, I tell you what. Let's do this. Let's just have some fun. I'll let you do it, Carl. I'll authorize you to do it. Carl, I want you to just pick on somebody. Get some popcorn going here just for a minute or something. Make something happen here, Carl.
I love that.
Somebody. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. And so I always look for the person that's going, please don't choose me. Please.
Right.
Please don't choose me.
Kind of looking away.
Yeah. So Susan Egan.
Susan Egan.
See, she was doing the old, I'm looking at my desk. I'm pretending that I'm writing.
I'm not even paying attention, not listening.
I wanted to see if I could fool you into picking me.
Good one. You did.
How are you?
Good. What's going on, Susan? Where are you at?
In Florida.
Where at?
Southwest Florida.
Awesome. What's one thing that's working?
Oh gosh. Being authentic and talking to my agents, conversations.
Having conversation. Hang on, let me write that down. Having a conversation. I love that. Pick on somebody, Susan, real quick.
Yeah.
Stephen Umstead.
Steven Umstead. Come on, man. What's going on, dude?
Hey, good morning, everyone.
What's working, man?
So yesterday's meeting from Fix and Flip, I sent out the thing to a group of 6 real estate offices that I do business with. And in about 9:30, I'm doing a presentation on the Fix and Flip loan we went over yesterday. So
Wonderful. It's good.
That is what's working on my day.
Awesome, man. Great stuff. All right, Steven, come on, pick somebody.
Pick somebody.
With Chauncey.
Chauncey.
Man.
What's up, Chauncey?
He's got nothing to say. Why'd you pick him?
Something good to say.
Well, he was smiling when I looked up. He was the first person I saw to be smiling. So, I love smiling.
I actually have a question. I've been lately getting very good reviews, which is, I got one last night, actually this morning, from a client, and I'll post it here. I just snipped it since he called my name again. Thank you, Steven. How would you all get this information back out to your realtor partners, clients? Like, how would you make sure everybody sees the good review? Does that make any sense? Like, how would you? Sure.
Yeah, you got this really cool review, and you want the world to know it.
Right. Like, what's a good approach to actually handle that so it can kind of stay in circulation?
Good question.
That's a great question.
Are you?
Yeah. Who's going to answer it? It's
Carl,
good to sit
it's a standoff.
We'll just,
hey, there's a couple things. So
okay, Steve's going to.
What do you do with the reviews? Brother, turn it into a targeted ad and do custom audiences. Then you could also do it in email. Are you emailing your agents and past clients weekly? Maybe put it as a testimonial that way. And then also if you if you ever do any presentations where you're telling others what you do with your team, like if you have a presentation booklet or something like that, I'd put it there as well. Carl, what would you do?
I would do something like, if I had something like this, I'd say, hey, one thing you want to make sure, and I'm just sitting here reading, what's the main thing? Hey, one thing you want to make sure in your business is you want to make sure that you listen. Let me just show you how it impacted
so-and-so's
insert in name, and then I'd put the little thing. And so it was an honor to serve her. And frankly, it's just a simple matter of listening. So, hey, if you have any friends, family, coworkers looking to buy, sell, refinance, give me a call. So that's how I would do it. Is like I'd give a little bit of a message, like, hey, Dennis, I want to help you. Here's a little tip. Here's a little message, and then put a copy of that. I have an email going out Saturday. It's this exact same thing. You know, our dear friend Tammy Saul. I think she made a profit last month on her own personal production, a little over $300,000, and she sent me a very kind text. You know, so I took that text and I went, and she said it was okay to share it. And so it said, hey, Tammy Saul closed 67 loans. And it was just a simple matter of discipline. That's all it is. If you look at her day is discipline. That's all it is. And here's insert in quote, you know, a copy and paste quote. And it's the same thing. It's a cool way of saying, hey, I'm trying to help you. And here's how I did it. It's very simple. And then a call to action at the end.
So email, targeted ad, or video, or all three.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
On it.
Because some people are going to read the email. Some
people are going to watch a video. Some people are going to, so I do it all.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you're kind of pointing at her, but she's pointing at you. And that's how I approach these things. Is I want to make sure, you know, she gets the credit she deserves. Like in my case, Tammy, frankly, deserves all the credit. And frankly, that she would point some of it back at us, just her being cordial. And so yeah, that's it, man. Good for you, Chance.
Yeah, great stuff, man. Thanks. Hey, I think, Sue, did you have your hand up, Sue Moody? Was it you? Somebody had their hand up for a second.
I was just going to say a lot of what Steve and Carl just said. I have a set slide deck, and I just cut the testimonial and put it in that. And it has a little movement in it, so it draws people's attention. And it's the same thing. Social media post. You could even do like Testimonial Tuesday. And so you're just sharing a post every Tuesday, and just thanking the people, creating a story with
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Testimonial Tuesday. Isn't that clever?
That's Sue Moody.
That's stuck right there. I like how that sounds.
Yeah.
Testimonial Tuesday. Love it.
Get her the ho.
But Chancey, what I would do is I would do a Testimonial Tuesday, and that's what
That's a great idea, Carl.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah.
If you're getting value from this already, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps more loan officers find content that actually makes a difference. And hey, if staying ahead of the market and learning what's really working in our industry matters to you, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss another episode. We read every comment, so drop your thoughts down below. We'd love to hear from you and know what's working or what you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you here next time. All right. Well, that was fun to get everybody warmed up this morning, but now
it's time for our Mortgage Marketing Animal and Freedom Club members spotlight. Please welcome today's guest,
Jody Bruns is with us in the house today. Jody, how are you?
I am really good. How are you?
We just want to spotlight you for a second. Don't worry, I won't keep this on the whole time. I just want everybody to see who we're talking with so we can see you there. Yeah. Great. Well, Jody, tell us who you are, what you got going on, and how you can help. Let's and I know you and Carl have already had a chat, so I'm sure he'll chime in and help guide things along. But what's cooking? What do you do?
Where you at?
Well, I am in Lower Alabama, where it's nice and sultry right now.
Mm.
So
L.A., Lower Alabama.
and it's only June 10th. So that's all good. But thank you guys for including me today. Jody Bruns, I'm the president of the Divorce Lending Association and the creator of the Certified Divorce Lending Professional CDLP certification. We've had the certification now for 12 years, I believe. And I think what I'm most proud of is how when I initially launched this, years ago, it was, how can I help loan officers do what I have done in the past, working with divorce attorneys, divorcing clients, etc. So the initial approach was literally, you need to know a lot of the legalities, the tax, etc. But we've really grown divorce lending into divorce mortgage planning. And a lot of people say, well, what is divorce mortgage planning? Is it just doing a loan? And I like to say that if you think divorce mortgage planning is just about doing a loan, then you believe financial planning is just opening a bank account. It's much, much broader and much, much deeper than just doing a loan for a divorcing client. And I get asked a lot, how big is this opportunity? And not to go deep into the analytics and the statistics, because I am a numbers person, just like we all are. But if you take away the fact that 70% of all divorces in the United States involve real estate, that's big, and if you double that by the fact that there's 2 spouses in every divorce, there are 2 divorcing spouses that need housing advice and housing planning. And one thing I always like to clarify is it's not about, rate proofing your business. I hear that a lot, and it kind of like, nails on a chalkboard, if you will. Because even if there's a court order, obviously, that says one spouse has to refinance, they're still rate sensitive. They are consumers. And so I think what we need to do as mortgage professionals is we need to be more focused on the strategy, that we bring. If they have to refinance, how do we take into consideration the post-divorce tax situation? How do we be comfortable, right? Sitting at the settlement table, like whoever thought a loan officer should be sitting at the conference table, of mediation or during the negotiations of divorce, but we have earned that seat because we need to be able to sit there, hear what's going on, hear what they're trying to figure out on a legal side, and then sometimes we have to speak up, offer suggestions as to what will work, what won't work. Great, you have a lump sum distribution. That's not income. What tax code can we use to make that income? So what we do as divorce mortgage planners is much, much bigger. And then another question I get is, well, how do I position myself, as a strategic partner for attorneys? And I like to say, you have to ask yourself two questions, right? The first one is, why? Why do you want to work with divorce attorneys? And I will flat out tell you that if your why is just to increase your pipeline, or if it's to close more loans, they will see right through it. Because I like to say, you cannot sell an attorney. They need somebody who is strategic, who understands the courtroom, who understands the legal side of divorce, taxes, etc. That doesn't mean you have to be an attorney, but it means that you have to be comfortable around the entire legalities around it. Speaking up. You don't want to be counterproductive by how you present options, etc. How do you get in the door, is the first big thing. So many people are like, oh, I got to get past the gatekeeper. Well, if you first start understanding that the gatekeeper is not there to block you, they're there to screen you. So what value do you present to the gatekeeper, right? Another thing is you need to understand that attorneys have a higher fiduciary responsibility of protecting their clients. So it's not like you can, you wait on Friday or Monday mornings to hear from your real estate agents if you didn't hear from them over the weekend, that they had an open house and, hey, Frank, I have 4 prospects who came through the open house. Can you reach out to them? How can we get them structured to start the home buying process? It does not work like that in divorce. Those attorneys are there to protect their clients. So they want to make sure whomever they are referring is credible and does bring actual value to the divorce table, the negotiations, the settlement, everything, so you need to speak their language. Again, you don't have to be an attorney, but speak it, recognize what they're saying. The other big thing, and I will say that this is really where our CDLPs are really starting to widen the gap of what we do, is you have to be a financial neutral. And and this is opposing counsel or even the attorney that's referring you and bringing you in, if they can tie the fact that the advice that you're giving is going to justify your commission at the end. So basically your commission is tied to the outcome of the divorce. They will cut holes through your credibility, your strategies, everything. And one of the things that I am super excited that we've been able to do almost 2 years ago now is we figured out how to compliantly allow our CDLPs to be compensated as financial consultants way before they close a loan. And you can close a loan also. So I'm super excited about that. It's a true game changer. And when you can go in there, we thought it would, raise some eyebrows with the attorneys. Oh, you're now charging. They actually were excited about it, and it literally leveled up our credibility with them.
Now, Jody, when you say you're charging, like who are you actually billing and who hires you?
So it depends. Sometimes the clients pay us directly, and a lot of times, and more often now, the attorneys are retaining us to be on their team, and then we'll give them our hours or our flat package, and they incorporate our reports, our analysis, our testimony oftentimes into their case management, and then they're paying us directly and then billing their clients for that time.
And then, so when that work, so you're getting paid either by the client, probably ultimately the client, of course, because that's where the divorce attorney gets their money. But when you're paying either directly through the client or directly, most often through the attorney, do oftentimes you get the loan also, or does that so hey, when you do that, then you can't get the loan? Like how does that typically work?
So we have a lot of compliant disclosures and how you manage it. But if you think about the sustainability and why so many loan officers have tiptoed in divorce lending and then they leave the room, it's because it wasn't sustainable. You would put hours in, doing analysis, attending settlement conferences, trying to figure out these strategies. And maybe the loan doesn't close for 6 months after, minimum, depends on if support income or whatever is included. Sometimes now they're not refinancing because they want to keep that pretty 3.25% interest rate, but that doesn't mean you're not going to be involved in the settlement. That doesn't mean that you're not going to be involved in reviewing the language of the settlement agreement to make sure that future mortgage financing for both parties is involved. So you have the ability to charge that consultation. And then when they're ready in the future to go for the loan, you can also put your originator hat on and get the commission. And what we've discovered is that the conversion rate from the fee-based consulting clients to loan has really, really increased because they already bought into not bought in, that was a bad choice of words, Jody.
I know what you're saying, though.
They already understand,
Yeah,
your credibility, and they valued the input, and everything that you put into place during the settlement agreement. So
Steve, when Jody was first talking to me about this, I always think in assimilations, and I thought, that's kind of like the real estate agent paying me to be at an open house.
That's it.
It's the same. It's exact same thing. It's just a complete shift in perspective. And in this case, the attorneys liking it when you do this, because frankly, probably takes something off their plate. Yeah. And they can.
Well, the bigger thing is when you can position yourself as that strategic partner, that consultant, you're being compensated for your knowledge. So your knowledge becomes your product, right? And your income is no longer associated with the outcome of the divorce, again, in the form of a commission. So that's where that credibility just skyrocketed.
So Jody, for somebody sitting here going, well, wait a minute, pay me for my knowledge. What knowledge? Like, give us point us down at least show us the road. Like, what kind of knowledge are we talking about here?
Okay, number one, you could get paid for being an expert witness. And even with the federal rules of civil procedure, evidence is not always physical. Evidence is your opinion, based on your experience, your knowledge.
My opinion of what, though? Like what am I?
There. So let me give you an example. If you're sitting at the conference table and you realize that, okay, maybe Sandy is getting $500,000 from a lump sum payment via a quadro, which is a qualified domestic relations order. Now I'm going a little deep.
Okay.
From her husband's 401k.
Okay.
Did I call her Sally? Sally needs additional income. Okay. Well, CDLPs know the tax code that turns that into retirement income. And we all know that retirement income, regardless of her age, we only need 1 month's proof of receipt. So that's kind of the knowledge. We've learned aspects of family law. We learn IRS tax code, all the fun stuff. And we learn, more importantly, how to integrate that knowledge into what makes us able to effectuate a divorce settlement agreement or execute it into an actual closed loan, or keeping it as is without an acceleration clause, being executed or anything like that. So you bring strategy. Think of it this way. Attorneys, they don't have a product. Their product is their knowledge. So being able to collaborate with all the other professionals involved in the settlement or in the divorce, including both clients, not just one. More often than not, you're working with both clients. There's a lot of knowledge being shared at this table, and being able to put it into a settlement agreement that can actually be signed and executed afterwards, that is in the best interest of both parties going forward, that's where you have the right to be compensated for that knowledge.
So I'm not just saying, well, I recommend they refinance into a VA. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about information that frankly you teach in your courses, where it goes into much more, much deeper, much deeper into things. So
yeah,
very interesting. Well,
yeah, it's a wide net that we do. So,
what percentage? What percentage? Just one thing, Frank. Just real quick. What percentage of the people that contract me to for my expert advice? What percentage is there a loan tied to that in addition to that income? Like, is there kind of a rule of thumb? Like, is it half, a third, 10%, 90%?
So we have discovered that probably 80% of the referring clients will retain you as a fee-based consultant. And out of those, about 70% of them are converting into a closed loan.
So if Frank's the attorney and he refers this couple to me, I've got, what was that, a 70 or 80%? I got an 80%
chance of retaining them as a fee-based client. And then about a 70% chance of those going into loan commission. Now, here's the thing I want to clear up. We don't automatically charge every client. It literally depends on the needs of the client. If they're early in the process and they need a lot of analysis, you're putting together our divorce mortgage planning and real property detail report, there's a lot going on. Yeah, you want to be compensated for your time. Now, if they come to you and a lot of things are settled, or it's going to be an easy, regular transaction, then you put on your originator hat and you go straight to the loan. It's not like you're going to automatically charge everyone a fee and this. It all depends on the needs of the client.
Yeah, what's the right thing to do? So very interesting. Frank, I always felt good about getting a 25% conversion rate for my realtor referrals. And rightfully so. National average, I think that's kind of where it runs. That if a realtor has to refer me 4 clients before I get a deal, but this seems to be a much higher. Anyway, Frank, I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, not at all. No, yeah, I was just saying that. Wow, Jody's really just opened up my eyes to this whole. I never even dreamed that this could go this deep, and that there could be these possibilities in becoming certified to handle these transactions. Just like, what? For me, when I was always, some people say, hey, I want to specialize in divorce and all that. I literally thought it was more like what Jody started with. It's just like, hey, I just call on a divorce attorneys once in a while and say, hey, I can help you out. Right. That was the extent of it. That's probably the extent of what I would have done.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I'll tell you what not to do.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what not to do.
Tell us, Carl. Tell us the story.
Don't get a list of all the people in your county that have filed for divorce, and then contact them directly, consumer direct. Yeah, I can tell you
Carl,
that.
how would you know that?
Well, I had beheaded chickens in my front yard. It was
really
horrible. It was obviously no dead chickens, of course, but the phone calls that I got was just, I didn't get one person saying, thank you so much for contacting me. You're just the person we're looking for. And so going the route that Jody's doing,
a little better.
It was an eye opener. Hey, Jody, I know we're running up on time, and we could have you for here for at least another hour. And I'm sure you talk about how to market to these attorneys and market my skills to it. Give us just somebody just asked. Kelly. Kelly was just saying, like, what's the extent of your training? Like, what does the training look like?
So it's about an easy 20 hours. And again, we cover divorce principles. We cover family law, financial tax planning. It's e-learning. There's workbooks, there's assessments, there's tests, there's weekly coaching, there's business development, everything. And it's all directed to your success as a CDLP. We also just launched for your class or the class I'm doing for you guys on Thursday, a playbook on marketing to divorce attorneys. And it literally gives you the inside look at what it takes to actually market to divorce attorneys from a value add perspective. And I have a landing page if you guys are interested in that. It's marketingtodivorceattorneys.com. Simple. It's a really good inside look at the questions to ask yourself. But our CDLP certification, it's making a lot of headway in the family law circle because it is not just doing a loan. That's what, our mortgage originators are doing when they're facilitating the loan. It's divorce mortgage planning is a whole other animal.
So if they go to marketing to divorceattorneys.com, the link is in the chat, guys. It's in the chat a couple of times there. That's kind of a good starting place for them, basically, to, okay, let me look into this and see, because I bet this is intriguing to a lot of people right now, because this is something way bigger than I thought it would be. And it's cool because if you do decide to go down that route and put the time in and get the certifications, it really could be something of note, for your business. You really would be different than
the other thing is, Frank, is what I liked about it when I first met Jody is like it's really making a difference with people that are in pain, right? This can be a very, very, very painful, or not can be, it is. It's a very painful thing. There's just different levels of the pain. And after meeting with Jody a little bit, I see she definitely has a servant's heart. For those of you that know what that is, like she really wants to help people. And so, look, I get it. We all want to help people and get in a mortgage and put them in their house. And it is helping people, right? And we get paid well for it. This just takes it like a whole nother level. These are people in severe pain, scared, and maybe one of them needs a champion, to kind of have their back. So I love it. I think it's just a great thing. And I think anytime we can actually help people, and oh, by the way, they write us a check when we do, I think it's just a marvelous thing. So good stuff, Jody. And Jody, you're gonna be on the MMA for our members. You're teaching class this coming Thursday at 2:00.
Yes, I am.
So good stuff.
Great.
Hey, Jody, is there something we should have asked you that we didn't ask you today, Jody?
I don't think so. Like I said, I could go down a lot of different rabbit holes. If you visit our website, you'll see the entire scope of our CDLP certification, what the income opportunities are, our approaches, everything. And if anyone has any questions, you can schedule a direct strategy call with us, request additional information, whatever we can do, because I don't want anyone to enter this, with this shiny new object kind of mentality. There's less than 1% of all originators have any type of divorce training. And if you want to be part of that 1% club, it's a great opportunity to really level up what you're doing.
Hey, if you're liking Loan Officer Breakfast Club, you really need to check out Mortgage Marketing Animals. Don't forget, we have live events pretty regularly throughout the year. You can learn more by going to mastermindretreats.com. Mastermindretreats.com. Go there, check it out. Hope to see you at one. Wow, fantastic stuff. Jody Bruns. I said that wrong the last time. Jody Bruns. Sorry about that. My apologies. I typically get names perfect every single time. Everyone here on the show knows that.
Only always.
I'm kind of known for it.
Only always.
Yeah, I'm really known for that, Jody. So I apologize for that. It's rare moments I got a name wrong.
That's all right.
Yeah. So
you got to be careful, Frank, because she does know a handful of attorneys.
Don't mess with Jody.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right. Well, good stuff. So marketing to divorceattorneys.com. If you're interested in this, go check it out. It's kind of your gateway into learning more and possibly getting certified to do to work with these divorce attorneys in a very professional way. Very, very cool, Jody. Thanks so much. That was awesome. And for members, this Thursday, she will be teaching the Complete Loan Officer 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So for members, go there. It is Tuesday, right, Kristen? Is it Tuesday?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, it is Tuesday. So since it's Tuesday, I think we need to have need to have Vince Queen tell us what we do today on Tuesdays. Vince Queen. I picked on Vince because he's not very charismatic. You know what I mean?
I know.
So, yeah.
I'm still working on that shy thing I got going on.
Yeah. Keep coming back.
Well, yeah. Today is a very good day for most of us because it's just Ash Tuesday. we have the opportunity to call everybody that's involved with the transaction. We give them a quick update. And you know what? We also just ask if they have any friends, family, or coworkers that we could help out in maybe another transaction. So it's a great day on Tuesday to really talk to your customers, talk to the title agents, talk to your realtors, give them an update, and then also ask for the business. I think that's what goes on Tuesday. Am I right?
You know what? Even if it's not, I like it, Vince. That's what we're going to do today. You laid that out so well. It's fantastic. All right. Well, let's get to it, you guys. Have a great day, my friends. Hey, Jody Bruns, thanks so much. Guys, go to marketingtodivorceattorneys.com. Marketingtodivorceattorneys.com. And if you're a member, be there on Thursday on the Thursday class. Do your Just Ask Tuesdays. Thank you, Vince Queen, for eloquently laying that out. For the rest of you, we'll see you here tomorrow on Flux Capacitor Wednesday. Adios.
Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for being here.